We do have the principal, Mr. Mark Robertson. Hang on a moment. Okay, Mark, first of all, can you hear me?
Yes, and it's fantastic to see you again, Rula.
It is, thank you, and I'm glad you can hear me. We had a few technical issues last week, and there was no one in the studio, as there's no one at this time, again today. And I had some little technical issues in the start, so don't worry, technology, it is what it is. I do this on my own, so I have to work around it. And the beautiful thing is that finally, since I first started in April, the live audience that are following me on social platforms that are interacting with me live are actually telling me the sound is perfect. Well, it should be, because $4,000 later, it will be.
Well, it's great to hear, and I can hear you very clearly. Hopefully you can hear me clearly as well.
We can. So while we wait for our president of the Greek community, Mr. Chris Damatopoulos, to come on, he shouldn't be on too. It shouldn't take too long. That's okay. Let me just see what is written.
Yes, he did pop up a bit earlier on. I know
He did.
Fallen out again.
Okay. He's waiting for permission. That's weird, because he hasn't come on. Assign. Click. Okay, get rid of that. Why can't I see him? Okay, let me close this. Let's try again. No. Okay. Hang on a minute. I think what I might do is, while Chris is trying, we can talk about Oakley grammar. How about that?
Sounds fantastic, Rula.
First of all, I want to say congratulations on the remarkable work over so many years running, how the Oakley grammar has grown. It predominantly was so Greek. It's become very multicultural now, and you've taken it to new, higher levels. How did you do it, Mark?
So it is more multicultural now, but one thing that we are very firm on, and that is that our orthodoxy and Hellenism. And so all newcomers, whether they be Orthodox or not Orthodox, they all embrace the culture of the school. And the culture of the school is premised on very conservative values, premised on the Christian Orthodox faith. But we're very contemporary and innovative in our educational direction. So it's a good formula. And often a lot of parents that come to us on open days, they're looking for something, an environment which is warm, which is nurturing. And we all know what Greek culture's like. Greek culture does embrace. Greek people have a lot of fun on the journey of life. And that's what we do as well at school. But we're very serious at the same time about our education. So we have a number of programs that we've brought in, international programs, many programs that have been developed by our own staff. And that blend has been a really good recipe for us to drive the school forward.
So you mentioned international programs. Can you specify? Can you give us a bit more detail on that?
Yes, well, the very first one is when I started in 2011. 2011, I had an approach from a staff member of the school, actually Kathy Haramis, who may be listening tonight. And she has about a book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And it just so happens that over the summer break, I've been reading that book. And she said, do you know there's a school program called The Leader in Me? I said, well, I do actually, because I was just reading about it. She said, could we adopt it? I said, well, how about we give it a trial? And 3 years later, we became a lighthouse school, which is the highest level of accreditation you get in the program. And we're the only independent school in Australia that has that accreditation. So that embarked us on the international journey. And then we adopted the International Baccalaureate IB program for middle years. And now we're able to look at our work and moderate the students' work on an international standard, not just on a local Australian standard. And the very exciting news just recently, and here's I can see our esteemed president with us now. And just recently, we were delighted. We were delighted to be confirmed as a round square, fully fledged round square school. Only 250 schools internationally have that privilege. So our students can communicate to like-minded schools. They're based on a number of ideals, so internationalism, democracy, and we know democracy resonates very
That's
well with the
exactly
Greek
right.
community. The environment, and we've done a lot in the environment this year. Adventure, everyone adventure, and doing some calculated risk-taking. Leadership, and we've developing leadership right throughout the school. And the last one is service. And I think service is the orientation of the International Baccalaureate and also, of course, to the Christian ethos of our school. So the journey's been exciting. The board has been superb in backing all of the initiatives that we've brought into the school. And I think the essence of teamwork is its highest level between myself and the board chairman, Chris Damatopoulos, who you'll hear from shortly, I guess.
Shortly, yes. We did
And
have
that's
him.
been the recipe to success.
Now, we did have our president. We did have our president. Let me just press this on for a second. We did have our president just on just a moment ago, but he's come back off again. That's okay. As soon as he comes, did you get to see him, Mark? Did you see the three of us?
Yes, but he likes playing games sometimes. So maybe he's
That's
just kidding us on, and hopefully he'll be back on very soon.
No, he'll be back very, very soon. That is such amazing work that you do. And, you know, like you said, I'm actually multitasking now because I'm actually also going to be responding to Chris. Yes, but no audio. Hang on. I'll give you audio. Okay. He must have come on and he probably didn't realize that I haven't. Yeah, because you were talking and I didn't speak to him, but we'll work it all out and hopefully he'll jump back on. And,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes it
I
is
think he's going to be
difficult.
back on very soon.
Yeah, he will be back on. Look, you know what? It's fine. No one needs to stress about this sort of stuff. I mean, I might be a bit more technical savvy, but the amount of problems that I've had, and especially when you're alone in the studio and and the building here, RPPFM in the peninsula, is massive. Like there are studio rooms, there are so many different rooms, there are podcast rooms, and you know, and when you're by yourself on a Tuesday night, you sort of shut shop as you walk out. And if something goes wrong, yeah, it can be a little bit stressful because you don't know what you're doing. And then you've got to go on to different type of music while you fix what's happening in the studio or try to. So it's all
Well, they
fine.
say that females are better at multitasking than males, so I'm sure you do a great job in that space, Ruler. And you know what? I think all of your listeners out there at some stage would have had a technology issue at some stage in
At
either
some
their career or in their personal lives. We
I know,
can't
and
escape it.
that's right. And being also Melbourne Cup Day here in Melbourne, it can be a little bit difficult because I can't actually just ring someone because everybody's partying.
Yeah, yes. Well,
Like they got
certainly if they've had success in on the mid race, I suppose. So,
I was on the Drive Time show today, filling in for Dusty, who does a show with Dusty and Bob, and they do a show from 4 to 6 every Tuesday, and an amazing drive time show. It's obviously all in English. I do the Greek program here, and we had the Donna Fisk, the country singer. Have you heard of her?
oh, beautiful.
She's actually
Yes,
sung on the
yes.
MCG. Okay, sorry, keeps
Well, that's
crashing.
very special.
Try again. All right, that's okay. We're going to get him on. It's not a problem. If I can't get the principal on this way, what I will do is I'll get him on via the phone. And so we'll just have to hear
Yes.
his voice that way. So I'm going to try and
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, let's talk a little bit from your perspective at the Glendi Festival. How amazing was that festival this year?
I think it was arguably the best that we've had, certainly by the number of people that came through. Tens of thousands of people over the weekend. The weather was absolutely stunning. We had the two best MCs, and you were on the Saturday, of course, Ruler, and you were absolutely superb.
Thank you.
And then Zach Lahandonis came on the Sunday, and he was also superb. And the whole feeling of the Glendi was the same the whole way through. It was one of fun, excitement, joy. We're seeing the children getting involved, the
Yes.
performances, The stall holders, I think, were thrilled because their sales would have been, I think, at the highest level.
Exactly. But we were
And what
blessed with
about
weather.
Christina Salty on the Saturday night?
Christina Salty, oh my
she
goodness.
was, oh my,
She was phenomenal.
you couldn't see a blade of grass. There
No,
were so many
no.
people there. And the dance floor was bursting at the seams. In fact, people were dancing everywhere.
That's right. And Senator of Queensland, Mr. Paul Scar, he'd actually said it was, he said 45,000 people. I believe I read 35,000, give or take 10,000 either way. Decide,
Yes, we believe it's around certainly in excess of 40,000, and it could easily have reached 45,000, which would be a record. Be close to the Antipodes Greek Festival also. And it was wonderful to have the leader of the opposition,
Yes.
federal leader of the opposition, Susan Lee, and also
Jeff Kennett
Paul
was there.
Scar, the senator.
And
Jeff.
I couldn't believe Jeff Kennett was there as well.
Well, he's a very good friend of the communities now, and our esteemed president connected with him a couple of years ago, and at major event, and he's been very in close contact with us. So it was wonderful to have Jeff Kennett present,
and also
on this special occasion.
The lovely Claire O'Neill. She covers so many different topics. Works so hard, and I've got to say I'm in awe of her because I saw when she had her child and. She was in Parliament. She got supported, but she continued with her career, her political career, regardless of her.
Claire does an outstanding job, doesn't she? She's a very close friend of the community. Both Chris and I, we have a very strong relationship with her over many years. Our school, of course, is in the seat of federal seat of Popham, and Claire is very unique because she really has a passion for the Greek community. In fact, one of her initiatives 2 years ago. She invited all the key Greek businessmen and Greek community leaders to Parliament House in Canberra. And I thought it was a wonderful initiative. And it was sponsored by Saparis Lawyers, actually, who operate out of Oakley and were also a sponsor of the
Yes, that's right. They were the major sponsors of the main stage of Glendi, the stage that I was so privileged to be standing on right there by Saparis Lawyers. And we had the fireworks, Bank of Sydney. Now,
how good were the fireworks?
Oh my
that was
goodness.
A highlight.
That was.
We were all waiting on the fireworks, and I was looking at the children in particular, whether they were younger or older, and they were just so excited when the first firework went off. And that sort of was the energy of the whole weekend. I think it was represented by those fireworks. So we've just been thrilled, absolutely thrilled, and it's gone international. Media in Greece have been contacting our president. It's been published and spoken about in wide circles. In fact, even in Parliament House, as you said, Senator Paul Scar was speaking about the community, about the Glendi, about Oakley Grammar, and we feel so honoured and by his commentary in relation to the experience that he had in our town of Oakley.
That's right. Now, Mark, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put up the background music. You can hear me?
Yes, and we'll see if we can get Chris on.
And I'm going to get Chris on. Just a minute.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, let's see if we've got the president of the Greek community of Oakley, Mr. Chris Damatopoulos, on the line. Chris, can you hear us?
Yes. Good evening to everyone.
Good
Finally.
evening. We've
Sorry.
got you. Oh, my goodness. This is so exciting. I'm so excited. It's okay, Chris. You know what? With technology, I was just talking with Mark that, tonight in the studio, there is nobody here. It's a massive building with lots of rooms, lots of studios for different things. And when I started the show, I had my live audience on the live stream actually tell me we can't hear anything. This is at the start. This is before I actually start playing music and when I'm just talking. And, I had to go because I came here on the Monday and there's another piece of equipment that got added to my show, $4,000 worth, to do what I want to be able to do. And I remembered what the executive producer said to me, and I went and checked some stuff behind the scenes and was like, okay, I've got to do this, I've got to do this. Now you can hear me. So things do happen, whether it's a mobile phone or in the studio. But the worst thing for me is I don't have any backup here. And today's Melbourne Cup, so I can't actually ring the producer on a public holiday. It is what it is, and it's fine. We've got you live. We've got Mark Robertson on the screen, and I know you can't see the screen, but it does have Mr. Chris Damatopoulos, President of the Greek Community of Oakley, Mr. Mark Robertson, Principal of Oakley Grammar. So, Chris and Mark, please jump in. We're having a three-way conversation right now. First of all, Chris, how do you feel?
Exhausted.
Yeah.
But most elated. I can't describe the elation. I think the success of this event has now become historical and most monumental in the history of Melbourne. And I've just got so many people to thank.
Please thank them on live on air if you'd like to do that. We just mentioned Zapara's lawyers, and I was stoked to be the MC on Saturday on that main stage. It was sponsored by Zapara's lawyers and the Bank of Sydney, the sponsors of the fireworks that never before done.
Yeah, well, look, it all kind of started. Look, without the state government's help and Steve, it would not have been possible to even take a step. And then Monash every year, and particularly with Paul Glasaris' great support, have added to the whole drive of this event. And, we've had a lot of good sponsors that have come on board. We've got a most energetic and positive school that's got behind this whole event. We've got the best event manager in the land in Tammy Croupy.
In Tammy, yes, she's brilliant. She's absolutely brilliant.
I think they call him the king of entertainment in the homegrown product in Con Tangalakis.
Yeah, Mr. Tangalakis, yes.
What can I say? With all that in the mix, and then we have fabulous volunteers like yourself that have come and we deeply appreciate, on behalf of our community and schools in Willamore, we deeply appreciate the commitment that you've shown and your help over the past few years with this event. It continues to go to higher levels, and I don't know, whilst I was off air, maybe Mark would have touched on some of the glowing reviews and
no,
feedback.
not yet. We did touch on, though, and I'm sorry I'm interrupting you. We did touch on the Senator of Queensland, Mr. Paul Scar. We touched on that. We also touched on Zapara's lawyers, Bank of Sydney. Mark, we talked more about the school until we got you on live to then say congratulations. But just going back to what you said about myself as a volunteer, and I need you to know that it's not just myself as a volunteer, but all the other volunteers. I think we really do love the OAKLEIGH GLENDI. And it may not be at the scale of the Antipodes in Melbourne, but it's got the same vibe. And when you love something, you just want to be there and you want to make it work. You want to be part of it and feel like, even the prayers during the week for the weather to hold off, because it doesn't financially affect me, but I know financially it does affect you. It does affect the whole committee, the organisers, Con Tangalakis, everybody, the stall holders that, have got all their products, and all of a sudden you've got a downpour and people are going. So for me, even though financially I'm not involved, but looking forward to being the MC, waiting for that November to come around each year, it was worrying me, because I wanted the weather to be perfect. And up until the night before, then I saw sunshine. I'm like, oh, and it was. You were truly blessed, because I do recall, if I go back one more year, when we got that perfect weather, and I remember how stoked you were, and I remember how you couldn't believe it and how successful it was, because you brought in the first main international act with Mr. Contangalakis. You had the collaboration. And we said, and I remember you saying it to me, and I'm saying it to you, let's hope next year's the same and we're going to make it bigger and better. And you did. You did take it to another level. And, for me to see Atherton Road, where it's expanding the stalls, and then we had that large screen at the end of Eaton Mall on Atherton Road. And I do recall a little birdie, now was it you? I can't remember who said it. There's going to be another screen next year. So we have more to look forward to. And I think the sponsors are very grateful for that. And I guess there'll be more people, wanting to put up a stall there, because it is getting bigger. There is more space that will be taken up. Mark, your view?
No, I fully concur with that, and I think that one thing we can't neglect, and that is to thank the thousands of people who attended the event over the weekend, and all of those people who actually bought raffle tickets, because the prizes were superb. The first prize was a $6,000 travel voucher, which they could use as return tickets to Greece or anywhere in the world, in fact, they could use. So we thank everybody who contributed to the Glendi, even those who bought one raffle ticket or 100 raffle tickets. It all added to assisting us to make sure the Glendi was a success again this year.
Well, when we left, I said to my partner, George, I said, you bought raffle tickets, and he showed me a whole heap of raffle tickets. And I said, well, just wait another half an hour, but I couldn't hold. My back had gone. And I went up to the info office, the Oakley Grammar stall, and I said to the girls, if we win, do we get a phone call? Well, we definitely didn't get a phone call. And congratulations to the person that did win the tickets to Greece, the ticket voucher of $6,000 to their dream destination. And the congratulations to whoever won the dinner with Christina Salti. I mean, all the prizes were phenomenal, but dinner with
So
Christina
special,
Salti,
so
come
special.
on, that is special. Chris.
Hello, I'm listening. Yes.
You've got to be so proud.
Oh, like I said to you, everyone knows I'm a bit of a sook, and the emotions that hit me on Saturday night, at one stage, I was dancing on a chair, but just looking at that crowd, it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And, I couldn't keep my eyes from wetting up. And
because you're so happy. The emotions, can get the better of us. And the people that are actually looking at you as the president, do you know how you have a sense of pride, because you've got the president up there. He's either dancing with the MC, which you did with me down the bottom of the stage, or you're dancing with someone that's performing, or you're dancing with the international act. I mean, you're coming down to our level, and it's really good. No one looks at you then as the brother. We look at you as Chris Damatopoulos, and then it's like, hang on, he's the president. He's the one that put this whole thing together. I want the audience to, and from your words, Chris, can you explain the difficulties of putting such a show, such a festival, like what it takes? Because a lot of people don't really know what it takes. Yes, funding is a big one, but aside from the funding, explain how you put together a festival like that.
I think it's easy, to be honest. The funding is the hard part. The easy part is that I've been blessed by God to have great people, whether it's operating Oakley Grammar. I have, and I say it, I don't mean this politely at all. I say it with total courage and conviction that I have the best principal in the land in Mark Robertson to lead Oakley Grammar.
He is an astonishing principal.
I totally trust Mark, and I'm there to support Mark. And similarly, Kostapatoridis, when he runs the Greek Language Centre, I can't run those educational institutions, so I have total trust in my leaders, and I give them my 110% to support them. And they've proven it. Mark has proven it. You know, the number of programs from going to 260 odd enrolments to nearly 1,000 enrolments. You've got to bow to the man. You know,
he's doing a great job.
And then, you know, similarly, when I've got a damn great event coordinator like Tammy Krupi, who is highly commended by Whitehorse, Monash and Burundara. She does a number of big events like the carols and whatnot. And, of course, no second word has to be mentioned about Contangalakis. And then when you marry that up, I will be guided by them. That's the easy part. I leave the old Greek, I think I know best, and I leave it to the experts.
Well, you definitely got a perfect a perfect team, including myself and Zach, your MCs that you can trust will do a phenomenal job. And you know what? Zach is so good. I remember Zach, how young he was, 10 years ago. You know, this is the 10th year. And I did actually, someone said to me, but it's been going on for longer than 10 years. I said, no. It all started at Eden Mall. This is 10 years here. This is the OAKLEIGH GLENDI. And I remember how young Zach was. And I remember one time we were both on the stage and were singing. And you know, I watched him on the Sunday, because this Sunday is so important, because we do touch on Orhi Day. We are celebrating the 28th of October. We're putting, you know, the politicians and everybody that's involved is putting the wreaths on there in memory of the soldiers that died for us. And, you know, to see the OAKLEIGH Grammar students, the procession. I wake up in the morning and I'm waiting for this procession, and it's like, George, we've got to get there quickly because I need to be ready. And even my partner did a great job, because we sort of did this thing where he was in front of me, and the way we did it, you know, I didn't have to keep looking where I'm going. And then to see Zach announce all the politicians, I absolutely loved it. Yes, we have George Ross too from Vogue Ballroom. He's amazing. But you know, he's been in the scene for so many years. So I'm more reflecting on Zach, because he's younger, and the way he speaks the way he introduces the politicians, he's just fabulous, absolutely fabulous.
Well, Zach's a fine product of OAKLEIGH Grammar. And we've got many products, Zach, that are in society that are making a positive contribution today. And it's fabulous to see an ex-student come back and continue to serve a community and school that gave him so much and means so much to him.
Yeah.
You know, but like yourself, you've experienced George Ross and Zach, the three of you have been fabulous, and at no stage have I ever, I believe, and, you know, intervene in the way you've, I leave it to your expertise. You got three are the experts. I leave it to you guys. But that's my, you know, as far as I'm concerned, you know, yeah, I take a bit of criticism because people say I don't talk. But as far as I'm concerned, it's the experts that I've trusted that do all the talking for our school and community.
Chris, look, I guess I can also speak for Zach as well, as your MCs. As you said, you leave it to us. But the difference is, when we know that the president trusts us and is happy to see us there, we just shine. You know, it's a different feeling. We just shine and we just love what we do. It's different when you're worried because you think they don't trust you, you know, they're telling you what to do, and then you do become nervous. It's you that makes the difference, Chris. And that is the difference. It's you that makes the difference. You make us feel...
And I would concur with that, Rula, because Chris is very humble and always very humble, and this is one of our values, and it's a Christian value as well. But the mere fact that he has engaged such high quality people in all the spheres that make up the community is a credit to Chris. And don't believe him when he says he just lets everyone do everything that they want to do, because he's always encouraging those people. He's always leading in every shape, way, and form around those people to help those people to do the best job they can. And I know that as the leader of the school, I get full and unequivocal support from Chris as the board chair, and he as president has that same impact on everybody else within the community.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you. And just listening to that, I just want to let Chris know as well that we did touch on all the politicians that came. There was a lot more politicians. Steve Damatopoulos, who's been the boy of Oakley for so many years, and watching him every year up there, I feel so proud of him, because I remember when we both first met 10 years ago, I think it was 12 years ago, and we knew how to speak Greek, but not really fluently, but we did it. And we've both come so far, especially Steve, and where he is now in his political career. It's just, I'm really stoked. And, I remember the first interview I ever did with Steve, and the interviews that I do now ongoing with Steve. It's really great that we're still all one community. And we've got Claire O'Neill's office in Oakley. I mean, and we had Paul Klasaris. He's been a mayor for Monash multiple times, actually.
Yeah.
And now he's mayor again. Isn't it amazing?
And I guess, there you go. The answer's all there. I've got the number one principal in the land. I've got the number one people in the entertainment industry in Tammy and Con.
Tangalakis, yep.
And then I've got politicians like Claire O'Neill, Steve Damatopoulos, and our mayor, and even the opposition that attended this year, Susan Lay.
That's right. Yes, she did.
And the senator's comments in Senate, we're talking about, these comments were made in Senate. What a great Hellenic lover this man was to make those comments.
Yeah.
He was truly blown away. I marched with him in the procession through the mall, and he was truly blown away. And look, just to give you an idea, this time last year we had about 32 VIPs that we invited to come across into the council chambers as a means of saying thank you for their support. This year there was something like 84.
Amazing.
This is growing into, and it's really heartening to see so many people want to make a positive impact.
Yes.
I think the big word around at Oakleigh Grammar for a long time since Mark's come is not what we're doing now, but what legacy we're going to leave.
That's exactly right. And when you spoke earlier about the opposition, the leading opposition, I do recall some words that she mentioned. Now, I don't think this is 100%, but I recall her saying on the lines of, we may be in opposition, we may have our own views and opinions, but for a festival here, we all come together to make it a success.
Yeah, and, what can I say? What can I say when people speak with such love and passion? I'm totally overawed by it. You know what I mean?
Well, Chris, congratulations once again. Here's to 2026, and I do believe it'll be even bigger. How much bigger? I guess it'll be more the road. There'll be an extension of Atherton Road. There'll be more stalls because people can see the success and people will want to be part of that success. And whoever told me in my little ear there will be another screen, fantastic, because we do need that other screen. And I believe you're going to get more sponsors.
I pledged that second screen.
Yeah.
And it was probably my mistake because, as a leader, I've got to take any mistakes that happen, and that was solely and squarely on my shoulders, that second screen. And
but it was perfect.
Rest assured. But we need to have the other screen on the other side of the mall.
Correct.
And that will happen.
Correct.
Next year, most certainly. And yeah, we'll just take it from there.
So
You know,
here's
with
the
love and unity, we can achieve a lot. And, of course, with God and Saints and Nutty, because, you know, we've had 10 Glendis as such, and we've only been washed out once.
That's
for
right.
45 days. I didn't sleep much, you know, but I can tell you on Saturday night I slept like a baby.
Bravo, Chris. And I just also want to acknowledge that we had Father Stavros come as well and do the blessing, and we had Uncle Colin doing the welcome to the country. And I mean, you can't get any better than that. Chris?
No. So, yeah, Oakley Grammar hasn't changed. We changed our name. We opened up to embrace every child in the image and likeness of God.
Yes.
You know, when the Greek politicians came and they saw the Indian kids with turbans and the Asian kids singing the chant for our patron saints in Greek, they were totally blown away.
Isn't it amazing? Look, we are a multicultural country. We are a multicultural community. We have multicultural within our homes, marriages. And Mark Robinson, I take my hat down to you. You've done a terrific job. Where Oakley Grammar was to where it is today. Chris, as our president of the Greek community of Oakley, congratulations to you once again. And I look forward to the following year. But we will catch up very soon. I promise you I'll be making a phone call next week. I just want to give you a bit of a break. And we'll catch up and I'll come down to St. Anariadi with the church that I had multiple weddings. No, it wasn't multiple weddings, where I actually got married. I christened all my children there as well. And we will meet there to discuss further.
No worries. And on this point, again, I want to really thank you from the depths of my heart and everyone's heart at the community for, you know, what you've given to this event. You've greatly enriched it. And you've added to the enrichment of this event because this year your daughter, superstar Carly, performed for 20 minutes, and I promised her even moments ago that will be greatly expanded next year because the young lady is a star.
Thank you.
And, God knows if he gives us the weather and the Saints give us the weather next year and with love and unity, who knows where it will go next year.
It's going to be fantastic
next year. There'll definitely be another screen. All right.
Oh, fantastic. We'll have Carly on the Saturday entertaining for as long as you can give her. We've got Maria Maroulis on the Sunday entertaining when she does the closing. How much better can it get?
Yeah,
that's
it. Okay. Thank you for everything. And thanks to the thousands of people of Melbourne that journeyed to Oakley
for the Oakley,
on that Saturday night and Sunday.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
A school perspective, we truly are a community school in its most authentic sense. Our students and parents support the Glendi like they support all the events at the school because there's so much fun and joy in the Glendi with rides and stalls and what young people really love to do, and music, of course, the fantastic talent we had on display on the Saturday, our own students performing on the Sunday. It really is a recipe for great success. But can I just comment that Paul Kosaris, the mayor of the Monash City Council, he said to me on Sunday that the council itself runs the Clayton Festival, and it's a very successful festival. The Chinese community run at the Chinese New Year, usually in February, the festival in Glen Waverley. And when the Glendi started, it was fairly small in stature. Now it's taken over both of those festivals to be the main and primary festival in the city of Monash. So what we are seeing is the great support we're getting from our political leaders at state and federal level and also at local level. And then you broaden that out to the community leaders. And I think just about every person who has a position of authority in the Greek community was there at the Glendi. And that's a privilege for us. It really is a privilege for us. So again, I reiterate Chris's words and thank all of our VIPs, all of our sponsors, our staff and students of both schools, the Greek Language School and Oakley Grammar, and of course, again, all of the patrons, all of those who came in and had such a wonderful time. And again, Rula, you and Zach, fantastic MCs, and all the volunteers did a fantastic job. We're all on cloud nine, as we should be.
Yeah,
And,
that's right.
and we, we're already thinking about next year. So how good is that?
That's right. Zito Elada, Zito Australia, Zito Oakley, Mr. Mark Robertson, and Mr. Chris Damatopoulos, thank you very much for joining me live on RPPFM, the voice of the Peninsula, and on my social platforms. Que tal, Leme?
Thank you, Rula. Thank you
Listen,
very much. Thank you.
let's go on to a
Bye-bye.
song for the audience with Raul Descaras, the song of happiness. I think it's quite fitting while we say goodbye to you guys. Thank you
Bravo,
so much.
bravo.
Bravo.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.